Hey, welcome back to the Rising Star Podcast, dropping live every Friday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. My name is Cody Askins, and today I want to talk about, I'm actually going to be doing some reading straight from the book, Think and Grow Rich. We're going to talk all about self-confidence today, okay? I want you to evaluate your own personal self-confidence. I would say that most people fell out of the business of insurance, right? 92% fell, which talks about how 8% only succeed. We have our 8% virtual conference, literally February 18th. As I'm recording this and we're releasing this, we're only a week out. Okay, it's next week. You can use coupon code Cody. You can get $50 off. Dylan will add the link in the description. It's 8percentvirtual.com. The number 8, spell out percent, P-E-R-C-E-N-T, V-I-R-T-U-A-L.com. $50 off. We've got 17 of the top speakers in the world speaking to over 1,000 agents across the world, and we're super excited for this virtual event. I can guarantee you, whether you want to learn how to get organic referrals, or whether you want to learn virtual sales or recruiting or team building or objections or closing or scripting, whatever, right? Like I'm PNC, life, health, Medicare, it doesn't matter. I can tell you the speaker lineup we have is the best speaker lineup we've ever had. Okay, we got a multi-millionaire traveling all the way from Puerto Rico just for this thing, dropping into Missouri, and all the speakers are coming to Missouri. You can actually, if you're close or you just want to fly in, you can come here and actually get a ticket to hang out with the speakers and do Top Golf and dinner and all that here live in Springfield, Missouri, and sit in the room and watch it as we speak to a virtual audience, interactive audience with all the Zoom screens on. Or you can just buy a ticket, $97, and you can watch it wherever you're at, whether you're in Botswana, Puerto Rico, London, Florida, Missouri, Texas, Philippines, Canada, right? Doesn't matter. Okay. So I want to make sure I encourage you to do that. It would mean the world if you're a part of this event and supporting this thing. I can promise you it will make a difference in your life. You show up, you take notes, you apply the notes, you will win at a higher level. Okay. So 8percentvirtual.com, coupon code Cody. Okay, so see you soon based on when you're listening to this. SelfConfidence Formula, okay? I've been reading, I'm committed to reading more this year. I think I shared that on the last episode a little bit, or the episode before last, how I want to read a little bit more, actually a lot more this year. Because I'll be honest, I've always told myself I don't need to read. I just listen, I'm fine. Or I used to tell myself I don't like reading, right? Well, you're probably in your life telling yourself right now you don't like to do something, okay, whatever that is. But I can tell you, you need to stop telling yourself what you do or don't like. You need to just start telling yourself that you like stuff. Like if you tell yourself you don't like something, you'll eventually just not do it. That's what's happened with me when it comes to reading. I'm committed to reading a lot more books this year than I've ever read. I'm reading a little bit in the morning, at night. I'm committed to reading a lot more. And so I've been going back through Think and Grow Rich again. And the content in this book, I'm telling you guys, is unfreaking believable. It's invaluable. I should have been listing it in my top 10 books to read, but I haven't been. So this is me fixing that and correcting that right now. Again, Think and Grow Rich. There's bigger versions of this too, which is wild. But on page 36, chapter 3, under faith, page 36, in this style of Think and Grow Rich, it'll vary depending on where which style you get. But there's a 5-step formula to gaining more self-confidence. And I'm going to really walk through this and talk through this because I guarantee you, when you think about 92% fail, to go back to what I was saying earlier, 92% fail, not because of skill. It's not normally skill. It's normally will to do something, right? So if you think about will, have the will to do something, you need to believe in yourself typically that you can actually get it done. Well, that's self-confidence. That's mindset, right? Even to get better and for your skill to go up, you gain more confidence, your skill rises, right? So I believe a lot of what we do in the industry, success, failure, business, life, relationships, etc., a lot of it comes back to self-confidence. And so I'm going to go through the self-confidence formula. I may end up writing a whole book of my own on this concept and topic. I'm going to start speaking at all the 8% road shows around the country. CodyAskins.com/road to check out our 10-city roadshow schedule. We're about halfway through as I'm recording this. But I'm going to be going and I'm actually speaking to Philly here in a few minutes. I'm going to be doing more of this, to where I'm helping people gain more self-confidence. Okay, so we're going over a 5-step formula. Number one, the first step in the formula. Okay, and as we're going through this, by the way, I need to preface, I want you to think about your your ability, your skill, your will, your only self-confidence, your personal self-confidence level. And I want you to evaluate each of these 5 and how they relate to you as a person, and which ones apply more to you, and which ones you can take more serious, and which ones you can be more intentional about. Okay, so number 1, the first step in the 5-step self-confidence formula is, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. I want you to say this with me, okay, as I reread it, okay? I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Okay, so do you know that you have the ability to achieve the object of your definite purpose in life? The reason most people don't think that they have the ability is they're lacking self-confidence, or they don't know what the definite purpose in life is, right? Like, I know my definite purpose in life is to impact millions of insurance agents and advisors around the world in a positive way and help them win at a higher level, whether they ever work with an agency that I'm appointed with or not. Like, I'm not the dude that's looking to recruit everybody. I'm the dude that's looking to help everyone. Most people in our space, they only want to help you if you will join their team, or if you will put their contracts underneath them. Think about it. Okay, that's the truth. I'm one of the few dudes in the world when it comes to insurance that doesn't care where you put your stuff, that wants to help you no matter what, right? Like, I truly want to help you win at a higher level. Okay, so I know I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. Okay, so do you have a definite purpose in life? Do you believe you have the ability to achieve it? Do you demand persistent, continuous action? Are you going to hit those, right? And do you promise to render such action? So you think about it. We had a story that Steve was sharing in our morning meeting a couple days ago here at our office here in Springfield, Missouri, and he shared about how Lindsey Vonn had went several Olympics and struggled and gotten injured and ran into stuff, et cetera, right? Well, she finally won Olympic gold. She had got silver. She had got, I think, bronze. She had not even placed, all, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking years and years and years and more than a decade. Finally got Olympic gold. Well, that's because that was her definite purpose. That was her plan. That was her target. That was her goal. And then she did whatever it took, no matter how hard it got, no matter how many problems came up in life. She decided to have her definite purpose, and she knew that she was going to keep doing persistent, continuous action until she hit it, right? Like, I can tell you, rising stars, as I'm wearing my rising star wristband right now, rising stars do persistent, continuous action, okay, no matter what comes up in life or no matter what gets in their way. So I want you to ask yourself and think through that as you're taking notes today. I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. That's powerful. Okay, that's powerful. So that's number 1. Okay, number 2, the second step is, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action. Okay, I realize read this aloud with me wherever you're listening to, okay, or watching from. I don't care if you're in Botswana or the incredible state of Pennsylvania that I'm about to sit in a few minutes. Okay, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action. Do you realize the dominating thoughts of your mind are important? Do you realize that how you talk to yourself matters? Do you realize that what you hear, see, read, subject yourself to, what you're around, what you listen to, and how you talk to yourself determines your outlook, your attitude, and how much you achieve in life? Because it does. Okay, it really, really does, right? I'm not saying like some hocus pocus stuff. Like, I'm saying like legit. You need what you think about matters, right? It just matters. So I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. So what I think about will gradually, eventually move into a physical reality. Wow. Dang. That's strong. Okay, that's strong. Therefore, I will concentrate my efforts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, therefore creating in my mind a clear mental picture. That just doesn't mean you're just thinking about stuff and you never do anything, because number one talked about, I demand persistent continuous action. This goes along with that. Once you think about stuff and you concentrate your thoughts and your efforts into doing exactly what you want to do, and you have a clear mental picture of it, and then you go take persistent continuous action, guess what? You have a better chance of hitting it, right? So let me read number 2 again. I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action, and I gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily. Okay? Does that seem overwhelming? Are you concentrating your thoughts for 30 minutes daily? I don't every day either. Okay? But we can be better. Upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture. Okay, do you have a clear mental picture? Are you thinking about the person you want to be? Are you spending 30 minutes daily on achieving it? Are you transforming yourself? And what are the thoughts that are in your mind? Because they're going to come out in physical action. Okay, so number 2 is really, really, really important. I want you to think about the thoughts that you're having. Are they positive? Are they negative? Do they bring you self-confidence? Do they help you think and grow rich, or do they not? I don't know. This is for you to decide. Okay, I'm not judging anybody. I'm far from perfect. I have my own ridiculous, stupid, dumb, negative thoughts, like we all do, right? We're all human. But what we think and what we do is really relevant and really important. So that's number 2. That's the second one. Okay. Number 3, third. And you think about it too, like, do you think 8% virtual will bring you positive, or being at 8% in general, any of our stuff, will bring you positive reinforcement, thoughts, ideas, self-development, personal improvement, and eventually lead to self-confidence? It will, which is why you need to make sure you're part of those things. Okay. Number 3, third step. I know the principle of autosuggestion. Any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence, right? Like it's choosing to become more self-confident. It's choosing to have more self-confidence. And it's choosing that you're going to persistently hold in your mind, and whatever you desire will eventually seek expression through practical means of attaining the object. So whatever that is, if you write it down enough, you think about it enough, you say it enough, and you actually take enough action for long enough, it'll end up happening, right? Like I really believe we will have the ability to impact millions of lives around the world because of the thoughts that we're having as a company, and the goals that I'm setting, and the action that we're going to put forth. Like, I really believe that we will host an event eventually. It'll be open to more than just insurance probably, but I believe we'll host an event with over 100,000 people one day. Well, that's pretty gargantuan, right? Like, that's pretty insane. But do you think that gives me self-confidence? Absolutely it does. Okay, absolutely it does. Number 3 is based on you deciding to be more self-confident and to go get whatever you want, right? A lot of these tie into each other, by the way, if you can't tell. Okay. Third, I'm also curious, once we get done, I want to know in comments, or tag me on Instagram, or shoot me a DM or whatever. I want to know where which one of these 5 stood out to you the most, and which one you liked the most. Okay. Out of the first 3, I don't know, 1 and 2 are phenomenal, and 3 super important. So that's tough. Fourth, okay, number 4, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Okay, 4th step, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life. Question for you, have you clearly written down a description of your definite chief aim in life? Is it crystal clear? Have you written it down? Is there a description of it? And does it exist? And I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment, which means it's so clear. It's written down. there's a description of it, and I know what it is, to the point where I believe it so much, it's so clear, I can see it. I believe it so much that I will never stop trying until I hit it. And by never stopping to try at it, it will give me self-confidence. Because the only reason people fail in the industry, okay, by the way, and they become part of the 92% instead of part of the 8%, is they decide for whatever reason that they stop believing that they can actually succeed. Like they stop wanting to push the ball up the hill, because this industry is tough. Like it's the toughest career on the planet. But at any moment when you start to doubt, this little seed of doubt creeps in, and you start to doubt that you have the ability to do something incredibly massive. The moment that you start to doubt that, the moment you will end up not achieving whatever you want to achieve. Like if there's any freaking doubt at all, it will come out in your day-to-day life. It will come out in your self-confidence, and you'll be more likely to quit in the future. Okay, so apparently, because if you think about this book, all it does is, it's written by Napoleon Hill, and they've literally, we'll just use an example, okay? I may be off a little bit when I say this, but no, I'm not off at all. It says on the preface, okay? Another 500 wealthy men revealed the source of their riches to Napoleon Hill, who spent a lifetime of research in bringing their message to people in all walks of life who are willing to give their thoughts, ideas, and organized plans in return for riches, okay? So if I said, if I said, hey, you and I, whatever your name is, wherever you are watching, and I said, hey, I'm going to go study, I'm going to go travel around the world and study the 500 most wealthy people on the planet for the next month, right? Whatever, okay? I studied all of them for a day, 500 days, a year and a half. It doesn't matter. And you had the ability to join me in this adventure. And you could join me, and we could go study the 500 wealthiest people in the world, men or women, wealthiest people in the world. And we had a chance to do that together. What would you say? I mean, even if it was $1 million, there's people in the world that would come up with $1 million. Even if it was $100,000, there's some of you that could find $100,000. Maybe it was 50, 25, 10. $5,000. Anybody can find $5,000. I guarantee it, right? Like you give a homeless person enough reason to find $5,000, they'll find $5,000. Okay, all day. Maybe it's free though, or maybe it's only about $20. And you could come with me and study the 500 wealthiest people in the world for $20. Well, guess what? We're not having to go anywhere, and you don't get to physically sit by me and travel with me every day, but that's what this book was meant to do, and that's what it shares with you. It's about $20 probably, and it gives you everything that you need because it studied the 500 wealthiest people in the world. It's kind of like the 500 wealthiest people in the world said to do one thing, and they all agreed, by the way. The question is, would you do it? Okay, would you do it? Like, honestly, would you do it? And some of us wouldn't, but that's where this helps create less doubt in its validity and credibility because of that simple statement. Okay, so number 4, I've clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying. In the industry, you should set a goal right now. You should mentally tell yourself, you should say it out loud, say it with me. Okay, say your name. I, Cody Askins, will never quit and will never stop trying and will do whatever it takes to succeed at the highest level in the insurance industry. Well, as long as you choose you won't quit, guess what? You won't quit and you'll have a ton of success, right? Which is really cool, okay? Which is really, really cool. So if you think about that, anybody can do it, okay? Anybody can do it. Number 5, the 5th step, okay? Derek just sold some one-on-one consulting, okay, with Miss Chan. That's cool. 3 sessions with me. Boom. That's huge. Okay, I'm excited about that. 5th step, okay? 5th step. I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. This is the fifth step, all this. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity. That's tough. Okay. Because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. Think about that. Do you have a negative attitude towards others? I don't know. I still do sometimes too. Okay. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, but commit to it to memory and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that I will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. Okay, I'm going to break this down a little bit. The beginning of the fifth step, I fully realize that no wealth or possession can endure without truth and justice. Okay, really important. Truth and justice, very important. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all involved. Okay. It needs to benefit everybody, no matter what you do. It needs to benefit others too. Okay. I will succeed by attracting to by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. Is this good or is this good? Okay. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity. Okay, so think about this. Is a negative attitude going to get you close to success? No. Even the next part of this, the next page, 37 and 38, gets into like the disaster of negative thinking. It's such a cancer. Like it really is. Okay, so truth and justice, attracting yourself to others, serving others, being positive towards others, and caring about others. And you will believe in others. Like there's some pieces here that are absolutely phenomenal. Okay. And at the end, after the 5 steps, okay, it says, because if you think about like specifically how this relates to everything that we do in the industry, is it's time for you to get on board with how good you already are. Like you're already better than you think. You just got to start believing it, right? Okay, after the 5 steps, it says, back of this formula is a law of nature, which no man has yet to be able to explain. The name by which one calls this law is of little importance. The important fact about it is it works for the glory and success of mankind. If it is used constructively, on the other hand, if used destructively, it will destroy just as readily. In this statement may be found a very significant truth, namely, that those who go down in defeat and in their lives in poverty, misery, and distress did so because of negative application of the principle of autosuggestion. The cause may be found in the fact that all impulses of thought have a tendency to clothe themselves in their physical equivalent. Okay, so I want to encourage you to follow these 5, okay, steps for self-confidence. It's the self-confidence formula because you were meant to do something good. I believe in you. I care about you. I want to see you win at a higher level. And the moment you start to apply these, the moment you will start to do something special in the space, right? So I want you to think about what this means to you. I want you to think about which of these 5, if not all of them, that you could start to adopt and commit to doing better. Okay, and that's really why we've created like 8% virtual, 8% road shows, and the main 8% is because we want to do more with other people. I want to help people win at a higher level. I know that when events have changed my life. I read something the other day. I think it was my buddy Edward that said this. Somebody said this recently, that said, big decisions happen at big events. Okay. And you determine what a big event is. I added that. But if you think about it, this right here may be a big event for you. This event of us hanging out, you listening to me read and talk about a concept of self-confidence and how you can have more of it, could be an event for you. You being virtually watching 17 of the top speakers in the world share from Springfield, Missouri on the 18th, February 18th, the 8% virtual conference. Like if that has the ability to help you, then you need to invest in yourself and believe it because it's going to help your self-confidence, right? Like if going to these road shows and everything we're doing there is going to help you, which it will, then guess what? You need to be thinking about how you can consistently get better and improve, right? The main 8%, over 2,000 raving, crazy people that are in the insurance industry that want to help others win and love and care about other people is really important because why? Because big events Big decisions happen at big events. I've had the biggest decisions I've ever made at events. I've had the biggest revelations that I've ever had at events. I've had the biggest commitments that I've ever made to myself and others come from events. I've had the absolute biggest investments in myself that I've ever made came in events. The biggest areas of growth in my life for self-development and personal improvement came because of big events and because I put myself in rooms, Zoom rooms or in-person rooms to win at a higher level. And I can promise you it will benefit you to the highest degree. Okay, so if you're on this and you want to be a part of any of those, you can go to apersnation.com to see the main conference. You can go to codyaskins.com/road to see the road show, 10 cities, or you can go to 8%virtual.com to check out what we're about to do for the virtual conference. We're pushing for thousands of agents live on a Zoom, and we are focused on bringing those people together and helping them win at the utmost degree. Okay, so if you're watching this, if you've always been watching this, or if you want to be interviewed on Rising Star, okay, feel free to message my team, shoot them an email, and I'll even interview you on this thing because I want to show people that are rising stars. They believe they're rising stars. They have self-confidence in themselves that they will be a rising star. I don't want to interview quitters, by the way, okay? I don't want to interview people that even thinking about quitting. I want to interview people that are committed to never giving up, that are committed to winning, that are committed to being the best version of themselves, and committed to persistent, continuous action. Okay, so appreciate you listening to Rising Star every single Friday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm committed to helping you win at the highest level, and I hope you are too. See you on the next one. If you love this video, you know I got another one that you're going to love. I got a video just to your right here. Click on that. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it, and I'll see you there. One of the members of your team, a part of your company, was talking to me recently and is able to take $1,000 in leads and turn it into $15 to $20K a month. I would love for you to